Hello everyone, welcome to the most loved YouTuber that you ever met, and that is me, Ari TH Peter. I'm gonna talk about Alfa Romeo seat again. Obviously, the last video I talked about Guangzhou that he must to do Formula 1 next season. He brings 30 million, as reported rumors, he will get that Alfa Romeo seat. Now, there's two drivers that didn't get any mention at all, but these two drivers are the most talented in Formula 2, and that is Oscar Piastri and Robert Shwartzman. Both of the Parma boys did well right now. Piastri leading the championship by a couple of points behind Guangzhou, and Robert Shwartzman who's in top 3, top 4. They never been in the rumor mills, they never been in contention as well. We know they are in academies and everything like that, but they never touch the feet on it. They never be in the news and everything like that. Okay, let's move on and watch the video on why Oscar Piastri and Robert Shwartzman never get a look at all for next season's seat. The first part we gotta talk about is the Formula 2 calendar for this season, the 2021. They have a massive gap hole every time. 3 months, 2 months, every time we didn't get much action. Aside from the fans' perspective, because we already know, you can see it on Twitter, they don't have any passion on it. But I know what's the intention behind it. It could help save these Formula 2 teams and solve some of these drivers, because obviously the pandemic not only hits Formula 1 but other motorsports as well. The below feeder series is the critical part where drivers cannot get much of money like they used to. Take for example Richard Fisher. Let's say the calendar is like last season. I bet he won't get any race for 5-6 races. Probably he's gonna race for 2 or 3 races and that's all. He will not get any chance at all. And also, yeah, it's at the moment I say this is a temporary solution, but hopefully if they have more solutions for the next season, well, that's very good. But the calendar takes the toll for Formula 1 teams. They cannot see their rookies, academies and everything like that in action. Thus, they have a little bit less interested as well. On top of that, I forgot to mention as well. So, the purpose for this calendar, let's say, the big gaps, is to help these academy drivers to develop themselves integrated with Formula 1 teams. Some of these drivers didn't get much airtime to be in Formula 1 teams. Oscar Piastri did some private testing in Alpine, but he didn't involve in free practice 1. That's the worst part. Guangzhou only managed to get 1. While Robert Shwartzman, even though people say, oh, he's be in Alfa Romeo, but he didn't get the chance to be testing Alfa Romeo because there's 2 drivers that always getting the testing, and that is Robert Kubica and Callum Ilott. Thus, it's very hard for Robert Shwartzman to get the test. How about Haas? Well, Haas already have 2 rookies, they don't want any rookie to involve as well. Well, what about Ferrari? Have you ever seen free practice 1 rookie in a Ferrari? Tiny chance. Now we're going to talk about the transfer itself. We always talk about we need someone in, but we never consider to think about we need someone out. Well, apart from Kimi Raikkonen's sudden retirement, we think there's drivers that obviously all of them deserve to be in Formula 1. So, Pierre Gasly, Yuki Tsunoda deserve. Yuki Tsunoda needs time to develop. Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon, obviously they already extended their contracts. Both of them are the integral part of Alpine. Hopefully for the next 2 or 3 years, that Alpine could be in charge for a title race. You can say like that. Then Aston Martin, they still need develop. Thus, keeping Vettel and obviously Lance Stroll is a sensible move. Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz already tied up long contracts. Deserve. Well, Haas with Mick Schumacher deserve to be in Formula 1 for now. As Nikita Mazepin, obviously we're not gonna talk much do it because he's gonna stay in Formula 1 next season. We have to take the reality, and that's all. Next off, McLaren. Well, they're on the charge. They don't want to release their drivers, obviously. Mercedes, obviously we already know. Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas moved to Alfa Romeo, and George Russell. Done. Red Bull Racing keeping the normal Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez. And the last one, Williams. This is a little bit controversial for some of you. Alex Albon shouldn't be in Formula 1, or should he? But for me, it's a redemption, and this is, you can say, second chance and last chance. Possibly, we don't know. And Nicholas TV, give money to Williams because I believe Williams still needs that money injection. Well, you cannot trust any what he says, okay? And that's all. What can I say? All of these drivers already proved them right to be in Formula 1. Right now, during this video recorded in 16th of September 2021, Orlen, Robert Kubica's personal sponsor, that the main sponsor for Alfa Romeo, is not contracted for next season. Well, for their perspective, why we give Alfa Romeo money where Robert Kubica not gonna get the Formula 1 chance in the end? But for next season, it's very doubt because Robert Kubica is already old, and also they don't want to cash out more money to a driver that's not gonna be in Formula 1 anytime longer. Sauber is in dire for money. After Orlen left, obviously they need more injection. Kimi Raikkonen gonna leave the sport and his personal sponsors off, and Antonio Giovinazzi doesn't have much of personal sponsors, let's say. Thus, bringing likes of Guan Yu Zhou with 30 million sponsors is a sensible move. How about Oscar Piastri? Obviously, he's with Alpine. If he wants to drive for Formula 1, if there's a possible way that Alpine give money more for Sauber, thus it's sensible. So what's the future health for Oscar Piastri and Rob Shwartzman? Let's say if Guan Yu Zhou or any other driver that takes that seat. If Oscar Piastri didn't want the Formula 2, he contends for next season Formula 2 as well, if he has the money. If he's the champion and he didn't want to continue Formula 2, he needs to be involved with Alpine itself. He needs to integrate with the team. He needs to test runs every time, free practice every time, and also as the reserve driver. Let's say if anything happens, like Fernando Alonso got sick or Esteban Ocon got into a crash, that he needs to be hospitalized for 1 week, let's say, for example. Thus, Oscar Piastri can slot it easily, adaptable, and that's a biggest, you can say, asset for him for developing him as a good driver. As a talented driver, he needs to be more patient. You need to remember, Oscar Piastri didn't have much airtime in Formula 1 cars. You only have a proper Formula 1 car testing in a RS18, not the current Formula 1 racing car, and also not involved in free practice. Thus, it's a little bit hard for him to adapt. You need to remember, drivers like Yuki Tsunoda, even though he got 3rd place in Formula 2, whatever you say, he didn't have much time in a Formula 1 car. Thus, he's a little bit struggling. For example, again, George Russell has been put in a Formula 1 car since his GP3 days. Before he got the champion of GP3, he got tested in a Mercedes car, then a free practice in a Force India car, and then more involvement with the Mercedes car itself again. Thus, it's more valuable and easy to adapt for him as well. As for Robert Shwartzman, possibly he gonna go do LMP1 for next season's WEC because Ferrari still links for WEC for next season. Thus, there's a possibility for him to do that. Or, like I said, like in Oscar Piastri case, he needs to involve in a Formula 1 team. For example, not Ferrari, not Haas, because they have their own issues. Thus, Alfa Romeo itself is the last resort. Thus again, Callum Allen needs to focus on WEC rather than in Formula 1 because he should realize that Formula 1 isn't a possible move for him anymore. Easy as that. So, that's my opinion. What do you think? Let's say if Oscar Piastri wins the championship or whatever it is, comment below where do they end up, or comment below why they didn't get the seat. That's all. Easy enough. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And also follow my Instagram and Twitter at RTHVideor. Okay? Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later.